I see. As my closing question, I need to hear a story. So a story which either in your life or a story which you can share which has made a dramatic difference to either your personal brand, or if you want to give an example, a story which has made a dramatic change in a brand, that when that story was shared, it really made a tremendous impact on the growth of that individual, be it yourself or that company. Any story you could share.
So, I'll share a story, but I don't think, I'm not a big believer in these sort of one story thing, yeah, because I don't think any of us or any brand or organization is unidimensional, yeah, and when we then decide that we are going to only share one story, we really try and make it. So a lot of times when companies say, can you come and help us with our company story? I said, which one? Yeah. He said, the company story. I said, you can't have the company story, right? So I think instead of just sharing a story, what I would say is that there are different kinds of stories that every entrepreneur should have or needs to have. And the first one is your origin story. Yeah. What made you decide to do what you did? And there is always a beautiful origin story. And for one of the great origin stories, if you go back, is I think on the Airbnb site, yeah, which talks about how these two people were trying to go to a conference, couldn't find any booking in a hotel, went and shacked up with a friend, and then said, other people might also have the same issue. So they started really initially just looking at houses near conference venues to provide additional thing, and how that grew. So what's your origin story? And you go to HubSpot and you go to and you'll know that there are beautiful origin stories. And I'm sure each one of you have an origin story, right? You heard my origin story. You asked me, how did I start? And so the first one is the origin story. And so instead of telling you a story, I would like you to think about what is your origin story. Yeah. The second is the area that she touched upon, is that why would you do what you want to do? Yeah. Of course, we need the money at the end of the day, but if that is going to drive it, then no amount of hard work is going to get you there. Yeah. When you drive something that is your why, and again, to me, she mentioned Simon Sinek's why, and one of the things Simon Sinek says is, stand up on the table and keep shouting out your why, and those who resonate with your why will come to you, and those are the only people that are important, right? And so you need to tell that why story, because that why hasn't suddenly come up to you. Something must have happened to you which said, hey, this is why I want to do this. Craft that story for yourself, yeah, and share that story. And that, I think, is going to make much of a difference. I can always tell many, many stories, but I think that's going to be far more useful than
Thank you, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.